Imagine being able to get past prospect procrastination and get them to sign up right now. What would that do to your organization, your sales, your business? If you're like most home business owners, your prospects know that they could just as easily join tomorrow as they can today. And if you're like most, that is something that is it's hindering your ability to effectively sell and present your opportunity. Hi, my name is Adam Chandler. I'm here with a good friend of mine, one of my longtime mentors in home business, Aaron Rashkin. What's up, Aaron?
Doing the thing, man. Enjoying the day.
Awesome. Yeah, just came over here, kind of caught Aaron, doing his thing, working in his home office. Aaron is a mentor, a master at creating urgency, and he's a multiple seven-figure earner in the business. You've been doing network marketing for 20 plus years, right?
Yep, 20 plus years. Yeah.
And over the next few minutes, we're gonna get some strategies. I'm gonna kind of extract some gold from this man's brain once again, and get some strategies for how to create urgency in your marketing. Some different ways to obliterate the time objection or your prospect procrastination, and then make sure that you stick around until the end of the video, because we're going to show you how you can access some bonus trainings that's going to really help you to implement this in your own business so that you can make more sales. And then before we get started, really diving into this, getting to the how to create urgency in your own business. Just as you guys have some aha moments, and as the light bulbs are going off in your mind, just show us some love by liking, commenting, engaging with this video, because these are things, principles and strategies that have made you personally millions of dollars and helped you build very large organizations in this industry, right?
Absolutely.
Cool. Excellent. All right, I'm excited. So the first question I have for you, Aaron, what is it, what has been your experience leveraging systems and opportunities and sales funnels that have urgency already built into it? What has been, what has that been able to help you and your team do over the years?
Yeah, great question. First of all, thanks for having me share here. I love when you just kind of pop over impromptu and catch me in the middle of my own workday. But I've had experience with a lot of sense of urgency and implementing what's called fear of loss, and really putting an end to the prospect's procrastination. I was a part of a team back in the year 2001, and this team I was a part of, we pioneered the very first Taproot and Powerline system, where every prospect that was looking at the business, no matter whose business they were looking at, whether it was my business or your business, and you were on my team or I was on your team, we all combined efforts to create a very powerful online marketing system that's never been duplicated ever since the year 2001. And I'm very, very excited about what's going on right now, because if you want to predict the future, you can look at the history, and that typically will tell you what you can expect from a company, a product, an opportunity, and a system that's in the marketplace right now.
Yeah, cool. And you said how many people did you and your team put into that organization?
As a team, we put in over 100,000 paying customers on an auto ship in only 18 months.
Wow.
And the reason that the system's not around today is because we grew so big so fast, and that company was not prepared to grow with us. Yeah, they were not scalable.
They didn't have the infrastructure in place to handle that kind of growth.
Well, it wasn't just the infrastructure, it was the mindset of the ownership of the company. They were very small-minded and very small thinkers when it came to scaling their company. They were very happy being a couple $1 million a month company, and they did not want to grow with the size of their organization. They didn't want to reinvest. They didn't want to expand the size of their staff. They just weren't prepared for it. And with that kind of growth, you have to be prepared for not just more production and manufacturing and inner staff, but you have to also be prepared for chargebacks and refunds and product returns. And they just weren't willing to stretch outside their own comfort zone And so they pulled the plug on us after 18 months, and all of us wound up in a new company within the next few months after that.
Got it. And stick around because we're actually gonna show you in a little bit, a system that's similar to that in terms of the structure of creating the urgency and the fear of loss into it. Aaron, my next question for you is, what are some ways that you can create urgency specifically when you're speaking to a prospect over the phone? So you've already gotten them to take a look at some information. They've watched a video, right? You've exposed them to something, and you're on a follow-up conversation with them. What are some things that you can say to the prospect to get them to commit right now rather than waiting until tomorrow or next week or 6 months or whatever?
Yeah, it's not as much of like what to say, but more of a how you say it. And when you're prospecting over the phone, when you're having a conversation with somebody who's looked at your company, your product, or your opportunity, or maybe they're reviewing your system, or they're looking at other facets like the tools, the community, the support, right? They're doing their research. A lot of people say that the fortune is in the follow-up. I say the fortune is in the decision. And it's not so much the decision that the prospect makes yet, it's the decision that you've made to be successful, because that comes through in the fabric of your voice. When you're asking questions, when you're being very direct, one of the things that I teach all my teammates and members is to learn how to protect, preserve, and prioritize your time. Okay? Once you learn how to protect, preserve, and prioritize your time, you don't accept excuses from people that are making them to you, because you don't even accept your own excuses. And when you're prospecting, the more direct you are and the more that comes across the line to the prospect, they realize that you mean business, and they're on the phone with somebody who can help them change the quality of their life. And so you can end procrastination by being very direct. Doesn't mean you have to be abrasive, but you have to be assertive enough to ask the right questions. You have to learn how to listen beneath the surface, and you have to send this message to the prospect that says, I'm the leader you're looking for, and if you don't take action, you're going to lose the opportunity to work with me. Okay. And so it changes the state of the conversation from somebody who's just kind of wishy-washy and going with the flow to they need to make a decision. They need to make a decision quickly, because like I always say, tell me yes, tell me no, tell me quick because I got to go, because this is all about spending less time with more people, and you're sorting through people who can A, make a decision, B, they have a huge desire for success, and C, they're somebody who's willing to be coachable and teachable and put forth the effort to change the quality of their life.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, great. So that would be more of like an active prospecting situation where you're actually having a conversation with them. What about in more of an indirect approach or more of a passive approach, where with email marketing or sales funnel? How would you create? Because I mean, you've done it all. You've done a lot of been very successful with phone prospecting and leads and home parties and all the more traditional stuff. But you've also been very successful with email marketing and content marketing and online sales funnels. How do you create that kind of urgency in more of an online process?
Yeah, that's another great question. Like going from offline using the phone or face-to-face prospecting and recruiting to using the power of ad copy or direct response marketing, sales copy, and so forth. Very much like the phone and doing face-to-face and like using the person-to-person type approach. It's very much both an art and a science. Okay, there's both an art and a science to it, and online, when you're using copy, like you're typing, you're blogging, you're writing email marketing, you're writing sales pages, long form sales copy, or even like social media posts if you're doing, say, ads on Facebook, or maybe you're just doing generic content posts and things like that. It's a one-way conversation. Yeah. Okay, it's the difference between sitting down face to face or having a conversation over the phone is that it's two ways. When you're addressing an audience of friends, fans, and followers, and people who are following you online, your social media following, it's a one-way conversation. However, you still need to know the conversation that your prospects are having inside their own mind about all the challenges that they're facing, all the struggles that they have, all the problems that they want to overcome, things that are constantly dominating their thought process, which are typically just a few things. Number one, most people think about money because they don't have enough money, they're lacking funds, finances, they're trying to pay their bills, cover their expenses for the month, and the second most dominating thought that most people have is their health, right? Money and health are the two most dominating thoughts. 8 out of 10 problems that most people have revolve around money and their health. Yeah. Have you ever thought about that? Right? Think about all the things that you think about, right? 8 out of 10 things that most people think about all the time revolve around money and health. If your relationship is struggling, it's a possibility because there's lack of funds, right? To do the nice things you want to do, travel, take vacations, take the pressure off yourselves.
Yeah, ease stress.
Just ease
in
stress.
The relationship. Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Ease stress in a relationship. Health, right? There's things that we probably all would like to go see a doctor for. Maybe we don't have the time. Maybe we don't have the money. We're afraid it's going to hurt. We're afraid to address a personal issue. These are things that people have on their mind all the time. So by you addressing that in your sales copy, whatever the opportunity is you're offering, whether it's you're selling a product, you're selling a service, you're selling an opportunity, you're offering them a way to change their lives financially from a business, right? Knowing your prospect is more important than knowing your product. And when you can address those problems and those challenges and those thoughts that people have, whether you're in conversation with them or even in a relationship or not, right? A lot of people think this is about relationship marketing. I hear this all the time. As long as the prospect reading the article or the blog post or reading the social media post or your email, as long as they feel that they know you, right? There's no two-way relationship there. It's a one-way conversation and a one-way relationship. But as long as you know your target market and you're having that conversation with them that they're already having with themselves, right? Those are the things that you could take advantage of in your copy so that you address the objections and you overcome those things before they even get to the buying decision.
Okay.
And so it's an art and a science. And when you learn how to write good ad copy or you learn how to write good direct response copy, you can create a sense of urgency, you can create a fear of loss, and you can create the call or a response to your call to action by the content of what you're writing.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, then that's great. Know your prospect, enter the conversation that's already going on inside the mind of your prospect, and know their struggles and know how to speak to their struggles and speak to their pain. What about a little bit more specifically, like ways to use bonuses or anything like that? Like some specific, I don't know if we'd call them tools, but what are some more specific things that we could do inside an online follow-up situation to get them to join now and not wait?
There's lots of different strategies that you can incorporate into the actual message that people are reading, listening to, watching, whether you're doing a video, whether you're doing a blog post, email, social media posts. There's so many different types of strategies. One of the strategies that I find to be most helpful is when you're working with a group of people. Okay, so for example, when somebody gets started in their own business, right, they get started in a home-based business, it's typically, they get started with their sponsor, and their sponsor might be there to support them. Their sponsor, maybe their upline support team is there, leadership team. Maybe they get some support from their cross-line, people that were sponsored by the same person that they were. But it's usually every man for himself. In other systems, there's other ways of building the business, and I've experimented with this over the many years that I've been building home businesses. There's a way of building that instead of it being every man for himself, there's an opportunity for people to work together as a team and share volume and create paychecks through momentum. And momentum is one of the most powerful forces on your business, and we can talk a little bit more about that. But getting people to work together and in support of each other. Not all systems are created equal. I can tell you that from experience. And one of the best ways is to get people working on the same side of the fence, working on the same team, right. and building in what I call synchro destiny, working together. That's where 2 + 2 = 15.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And I've actually leveraged this. I mean, I've leveraged you quite a bit because we've been working closely in a couple things this year. So I've leveraged you and some of the other leadership on the team to get people to take action. But one thing that I actually learned from Mark Hoverson is kind of going past the sale a little bit. So it's like, hey, I can get you on the phone with my upline. His name's Aaron Rashkin. He's been built multiple 7-figure businesses. We can get you on the phone with him as soon as tomorrow. Is that something that you want to set up? And if they say yes, it's like, okay, well then the only thing that you have left to do is to join. You know what I mean? So it's like moving past the sale, but also leveraging the leadership and leveraging other people as a way to create that urgency.
Yeah.
Cool. Any final thoughts on urgency, fear, loss?
Oh yeah, there's so much to say. I mean, first of all, let me just address something called risk tolerance. Okay, this means that as an entrepreneur, that you jump first and you build your wings on the way down. Think about that for a second, okay? It's like this: in order to explore new oceans, you've got to be willing to lose sight of the shore, right? Gary Vaynerchuk talked about it in a video I watched earlier today. He says, as an entrepreneur, you're going to get punched in the face 25 hours a day, right? As an entrepreneur. It's like, if you want safety and security and a guaranteed income, go get a job. If you know how much money you're going to make this week, this month, this year, if you know exactly what you're going to earn because you have a salary and you have a guaranteed check as long as you show up for work and trade time for money, you're probably 1 to 2 checks away from being completely flat, busted, and broke, right? Yeah. So risk tolerance is a super important part of understanding, creating sense of urgency and obliterating procrastination. Because once you understand risk tolerance, you're able to spot that in other people as well. Because you can't identify something that you don't already feel. So once you get okay, right, being away from the shore, right, not having that safety net of grabbing onto the job or holding on to the side, right, which is like if you think about a kid in a swimming pool, once they learn to let go of the side, they're forced to swim. It's like sink or swim, feast or famine. There's really no other option here. You got to make it work, or else you go back to work. Okay, that's what's most important. And a lot of people say to me, well, what about a business plan? What's the business plan? What's the plan here? Well, let me tell you, you don't need a business plan to be successful. What you need is a brass set of balls. Okay. It's almost like you follow the tip of your nose, and you earn as you learn, and you have to course correct along the way. You can't just expect to get on a plane from New York to Los Angeles and not have to align the nose of the plane to get to the final destination. You're constantly readjusting. You're constantly growing into a new role for your business, right? Having to overcome problems and challenges every single day. If there's no challenge, there's no paycheck. Yeah. Okay. If you want a less challenging life and lifestyle, go get a job. But who's going to do that, right? If you're an entrepreneur, you have to make it work. And then sometimes you just got to take a leap of faith. You got to take a leap of faith, right? And follow the tip of your nose. That's how all of us do it. And with any good team, you're going to have great leadership. You're going to have a great community. You're going to have great support and resources available. These are the things that you need for a great opportunity. And, you need to make sure that the product is something that people are buying without the income opportunity. You got to make sure that, the company itself is debt-free. It's on rock solid ground. I always say, and I said this earlier, if you want to predict the future, look at the history of the owners, the history of the people who help run the company, the corporate executives. To me, that's important. You want to make sure that there's a lot of automation, there's automated follow-up, follow-through, and the ability to get real-time online ordering. That is a huge factor, because when somebody that's looking at the opportunity realizes that it's in real time, right? Their decisions come faster because they become in real time as well.
There you go.
Okay, you've got the power of the compounding effect, right? If people realized how much money they lose every single day by not making a decision and taking action, they would never waste another day of their business life again. Think about it. If you compound a penny over 30 days, right? Day 29 to day 30 is a difference of $5 million, right? So you take one penny, you make it into two, then two into four, four into eight into 16, and you compound it 30 times. That one single 24-hour period is worth over $5 million. So if people would actually stay in for 30 compounding periods, which is every day of the month, they put a little bit into their business, right? Because it's not just what you do that makes you successful, but what you do daily. Right, so that one single day that they procrastinated when they got the information about how to get started and they wasted that time, that jump from day 29 to day 30 is the difference between $5 and a $10 million bank account.
Wow.
So just put that in perspective when you think about the compounding effect, once you get started. And, the bottom line is that success rewards speed. Right? They say successful people make decisions quickly and change their minds slowly, while very unsuccessful people make their minds up very slowly and they change their minds very quickly. And that's why, it's important to understand when you made the decision to become successful, when you make the decision to get started, when you make the decision to become a success, and because you have a huge desire, you're coachable and teachable, you're willing to plug in, pay attention, and do the work, and you're willing to put forth the effort. There's no reason why anybody that implements these ideas, these thoughts, these concepts that I'm throwing out into your air, why they can't be successful and reach whatever level of success, because it's different for everybody. But no matter who's putting forth these principles, setting forth these principles in their business, there's no reason why anybody watching this can't reach whatever level of success they're looking for.
Yeah, wow, awesome. Man, words of wisdom from someone who's been there, done that, and many times over. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate it. And you guys, the best way to create urgency is to join a system and kind of like what Aaron was talking about earlier. A system, a process that already has that kind of urgency built into it, and that's exactly what we have. If you click the link in the description above this video, go ahead and when you click that link, that's going to actually take you to a page that's going to be talking about the opportunity that myself and Aaron are involved in. That is very much structured like the Powerline system that you said that you used in 2001 to put 100,000 people into the team in, what was it, 18 months?
Yeah.
That's the system. It's got a lot of urgency and a lot of fear of loss engineered into the process, and because of that, people are just joining left and right. It's growing very, very quickly, and so basically, if you click the link and you take action on that page, you opt in with your name, your email address, your best email address, your phone number, and you comment below on this video letting us know that you took that action. I'm going to send you a bonus training of I think it's like an hour-long interview that Aaron and I did a few months back, where Aaron goes into a lot more depth on how to effectively use email marketing, how to do some really good stuff on content marketing that guaranteed will make you a better marketer and a better entrepreneur. And if you're digging this, if you're digging us, you're picking up what we're putting down in this video, and you want to work with some people who really know what they're doing. I mean, it's been been a real pleasure working directly with Aaron, and we're looking for sharp people who want to leverage the leadership and everything that we've put together here. So
absolutely.
So click that link, take action, leave us a comment below letting us know you did that. I'll send you. We'll go ahead and send you that bonus interview with us, and that's it for the video. Thank you, Aaron, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good night.